I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Welcome to the CLE Show. I am here today with the Throwback Tribe Agency. What's up, Johnny?
How you doing?
So, you've been busy lately.
Yeah, Kelly and I have. By the way, I'm with my my girlfriend and partner, Kelly Myers. Say hi, babe.
Hi.
Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
So, you're kind of like Pac-Man right now. You're gobbling up all the talent around town. All of it.
Yeah.
You just picked up Prince Ish out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, well, technically, it's like a partnership, to be honest with you. To be very technical and very open and out there about this right now, so we can set this straight on wax. We don't manage Prince Ish, all right? We are with a partnership with Prince Ish's management team of Jamal Brady. Jamal is his manager, so we're just...
So you're like the agency that's going to back them.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Perfectly put.
So you're his agent.
Booking agent, yeah, we're their booking agents and visual promoters and stuff like that. Yeah, we do a lot of the photography. We just shot his concert video at the House of Blues.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures and video from that. Looked like it was a good night.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, dude. So, I guess we're going to the Bone Thugs premiere next week.
Yes,
Yep. You excited?
Oh, yeah. So that's happening Saturday the 7th.
Yep.
Oh,
the
man.
documentary of the Sons of St. Clair.
It's pretty much basing upon Busy Bone and Crazy Bone's collaboration album of the New Wave album, and they're pretty much also going over like their life, like the lifestyle of St. Clair and East 99 for the past 20 years, and they're pretty much their imprint in hip hop. And in Cleveland particularly, I think they got LeBron James even in the documentary.
Dude, I am so stoked to go to this. You have
great.
no idea.
Yeah, like I've been following about this documentary for a while, but I didn't know this was like a Def Jam thing or Nerve DJs or anything like that. I didn't know anything about that. But
the first thing they told me when they came into the studio today was, "Hey, we're all going to Bone Thugs next week." I'm like, "But Mom's birthday," and they're like, "But Bone Thugs." I'm like, "All right, Mom, I'm sorry. I'll take you out the day before. I promise. I promise."
And we should give a shout out. The after party is at Union Nightclub on West 6th in Cleveland.
All right, yeah, we'll be there too.
We will.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Dude, there's so much stuff happening in Cleveland right now. The season just started.
We missed the result, though. What was the result?
Oh, they lost.
Oh, okay.
They lost. They couldn't come back. They got their asses spanked in the first inning with a 2-run slap.
Yeah, we saw that, though. We did see that.
Yeah, so
we saw that.
They couldn't come back from it. They got a run later on, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But the first game does not determine the next
season.
160 games,
Yeah. That's a long season.
It's a long season.
That's a lot of games to play.
And then we got the Browns draft coming up.
Oh, I can't wait. That's like Christmas for me. I can't wait. Oh, the Browns about to actually not be winless this year. I feel it. Tyrod Taylor, Team Tyrod.
See, is that
Team Tyrod?
This is what we've come to. I hope my team doesn't go winless this year.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Look, we love them though. They're like a special child. Like just gotta love them. unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
We are champions of preseason, though.
Goddamn right.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You gotta give him that.
We were undefeated all for those 4 games.
For all 4 games. What a long stretch.
That was a great long stretch for us, okay? You have no idea. For Clevelanders, that was amazing to see. That was promise. And then, of course, we got bitch slapped into reality.
Yeah. Everybody knew that it was just a fable.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit doesn't count. Of course they're doing well. And, you know.
I feel like people spoke this into permission.
That's how it goes. I mean, even in school, like on the practice test, it's great. And the second they slap down the real one in front of you, you're like, what the fuck?
I didn't see any of this on the sheet.
But we are dedicated fans.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Amen to that.
So tell me about Tribe Stock this year.
Well, glad you said that. Let's do this, babe. You ready? 1, 2, 3. July 21st, Mulberries. Car show. Car show by the Boost Ohio Car Club. Live podcast with yours truly, Mike Sandy and the Cleveland Show. We have several live performances. We're going to have plenty of vendors. Food trucks. Did I say volleyball tournament?
No.
Volleyball tournament. And beer tubs.
Tons of games.
Prizes.
Raffles.
Yep.
I will be doing a set there.
They have like giant Connect 4 and all kinds of.
I saw that. The last time I was there, I was down there for Bright Winter.
Bright Winter was fun. And it's going to be the same stage as Bright Winter. He has a 40-foot projector screen.
Oh, right there outside?
Yeah, but we're going to be having it inside in that gym area. But the rest of we're going to take up the entire block down there of the flats.
Okay.
Two parking lots, yeah. The actual parking lot of Mulberries.
Volleyball courts, so 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we have to fill that up with vendors, cars, and food trucks and beer tubs.
Vendors are going crazy.
Yeah, she's already been getting bamboozled with like emails. She's been getting hit. Like, it's been amazing.
So I guess
she's been locking them down, everyone. She's been locking them down.
Right. If you're trying to get on this in a vendor spot or something, you better hit them up quick.
Yeah.
It's not much. Oh, tell the details about getting a vendor spot, babe.
$25 a table, and any type of Cleveland art or any kind of craft that you do, we're accepting it. It doesn't even have to be from Cleveland, but we are getting a lot of response from a lot of Cleveland vendors. It could be makeup, jewelry, tattoos, whatever you do.
Blacksmith.
With photography, blacksmith.
If there is a blacksmith somewhere out there, please sign up. Please sign up. I would welcome it.
But yeah, it's a pretty overwhelming response. So definitely get your tables now.
I just got some messages from some local artists on the way here, like some bands and whatnot. Someone referred them to us, and now we're just getting hit with a bunch of emails and messages and just questions.
This is going to be like an all-day thing then.
Yeah, from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Woo! Damn.
Yep.
That's a long day.
Yep.
It is.
And it sounds like it's going to be like full of content. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You know, a car show. That's pretty ballin'.
Yeah. And our friend Brandon from the Boost Car Club, he knows another videographer is also going to be there, and he has like a $10,000 like drone, and he's going to fly it over the entire festival like all day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have some awesome video out of it.
Yeah, and we're probably going to work with some other photographers and videographers as well to capture everything outside while I'm filming inside, and so we can actually collab and make like a big production kind of thing later.
That sounds very ambitious.
Yeah. I'm trying.
So
the other bands that we work with too, Darkwater Rebellion, they're all
shout out Darkwater. Shout out Darkwater. What's up, Darkwater Rebellion?
They're also going to have some collector bikes brought to the car show, and they actually have been referring a lot of people to us as well. So we're getting a lot of response, especially from people all over the place. He had someone hit him up from New Jersey. He's had people hit him up from
Wichita, Kansas.
So a lot of people are.
I don't know anyone in Kansas.
That's a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
That's a long, long drive, man.
I just want them to come so I can tell them they're not in Kansas anymore. That's all I want.
And you can go back. And you can go back.
I'm sorry you drove this 1930s early model Ford from Kansas. The fuck out of here. You're not in Kansas anymore.
Go back home.
Oh.
But no. We do love our Midwest brethren out in Kansas out there, you know.
And also, please contact Johnny Bobak or myself, Kelly Myers, about Tribe Stock and not flood Gus from Mulberries about it. Please contact one of us.
Please, just contact us.
To do. As great as he is, he has enough to do.
So contact the Throwback Tribe Agency.
Only, solely and only.
All right, well, I'm here with Johnny Bobak and Kelly Myers from the Throwback Tribe Agency. You want to give any shout-outs or let me know who's going to be playing so far on the festival?
Yeah. So far, the DJ for the night, like the main DJ for the entire day so far will be our boy, the big lovable teddy bear, DJ Gift. Yes. He's like a big Rick Ross looking dude. He looks kind of burly and scary, but once you talk to him, you're like, oh, he's so sweet. He's like a big teddy bear. I love him. I love him so much. He's actually my neighbor.
Keep him close.
Keep him close. Teddy Martin. He's a Columbus pop sensation. I always call him a sensation, not an artist. He's a sensation because he has background dancers, a whole routine of background singers when he gets everything together and stuff like that. Because we see him at Pride last year, he had a whole production. Like he's like our main artist that we like book and everything. Not book, but we manage and everything. You know, we've got him gigs in New York and Vegas and Erie, Pennsylvania, and so on and so forth. You know, Indiana. You know, stuff like that. We're all over the place. Jeremiah Child, he was the first Throwback Tribe artist, actually. He's been with Throwback Tribe since it was actually a group. You know, and then once the group dispersed, I pretty much took over it as like a agency under Heartright when it was a division, and then Heartright we kind of left Heartright and started our own thing. And Jeremiah Child's been with us ever since then. And he's a alternative hip hop artist. Also we have Justin Grossman. He's an acoustic artist from Lorraine. He's also another TBT artist. We have Prince Ish. We mentioned Prince Ish earlier in the show.
Yeah, we play his music on the show.
Oh yeah. Great guy. Shout out Prince Ish and Jamal.
You're definitely gonna hear some Prince Ish
and today. T1, DJ T1. Oh yeah, by the way, Jamal, make a move. Don't be James Jones. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke we have with him. Don't be James Jones, all right? And everyone, until you find out, you will find out sooner or later what that means. Don't be James Jones. We have Darkwater Rebellion, our friends from the West Bank of the Flats, rock band. They're freaking awesome. Like they're just amazing. Who else we got here? We have a Deep Drain from L.A. We have an L.A. band which is friends with Darkwater Rebellion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting pretty eclectic. Best of None. We got Best of None in the house. Gonna be throwing down a set for the Tribe Stock. You were at Tribe Stock last year, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, when we first did this at a small bar in Columbus at Ruby Tuesday Live. Yes. You were the second night.
But you know what? I loved it because like the reception that I got there from you guys, good shit.
And it's just carrying over. Now everything's just getting better and better and better now, which is
like you know what? That
everyone
going down to Columbus that night, honestly, it really changed the way that I saw how people in Cleveland like can work together and really
be one.
Be one and support each other because
it's like be separate but be one at the same time. It's like how Atlanta is. Like everyone's got their own entity, but when it comes to success, everyone wants to be successful at the same time, so they help each other.
Right. Where I originally came from, it didn't work that way, and you guys were kind of the first people that I saw from here that had a group working together that actually made it work.
Right. Nice.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
It
means a lot.
It
I was
seems
like,
to
all right,
work
well,
like that here.
Yeah.
Like there are really amazing people in Cleveland that still have the old school values and loyalty and camaraderie with each other, and it's hard to usually find in a big city. But
right.
Cleveland, we all seem to come together like magnets.
Right.
Especially when it comes to sports.
Right.
Or music.
Or music.
Apparently
Yeah.
music.
Apparently music now. Finally now music.
Well, speaking of music, I have a bunch of metal, a huge block of metal coming up right now. I have brand new A Killer's Confession. They just put out a video for this. That's ex-Mushroomhead singer Wayland, his new band. I have Metal Mafia.
He still can't get over Bone Thugs, everyone.
No, I really can't. I'm fucking going to Bone Thugs next week. Yeah.
And you're meeting all 4 of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I got Metal Mafia coming up. I have Sink the Ship, a brand new one from them that actually comes out on their album next month. Right now, I have Fallen Captive. You're listening to the CLE Show.
Lives are artifacts, but one thing remains intact. Just you and I, but don't look back, cause you know that I am sick, fucking sick. God damn, thought I had it figured out, but I don't have a plan. I'm gonna need a minute, or you unlock what I say. I wrote it down, pulled it up and threw it all away, cause I'm sick, I'm a sick kid. I gave you all I could give. Sweet to the ears, but it's a sound I haven't heard in a million years. Cause I'm sick, I'm a sick kid. I gave you all I could give. The earth is crumbling, fire falls from the skin. Walk on in broken souls, intertwining. Intertwining. Us in a vortex, we're counting the days till the earth is crumbling. Our souls intertwining. Lost, but I'll endure this pressure to get to you tonight. The truth is that I'm not sure if I'll make it out alive. Make it out alive. I wanna hold you like the earth is crumbling. As fire falls from the sky. Our torn and broken souls are intertwining. I wanna hold you like the earth is crumbling. As fire falls from the sky. Our torn and broken souls are intertwining. Intertwining. Us in a vortex, we're counting the days till the earth is crumbling. Our souls intertwining. I still recall the words that bite, emotionless and cold. Each moment suffocates the light. So where do I go on from here? Drowning in chaos, pain and fear. I walk forever down the line that fills me up with pain and endless. I This loneliness is all I know. This emptiness consoles. Within the silence I can hear. To fight, and with my demons I deny the angel on the outside. And when the sky turns black, there is no turning back alive. And with my demons I deny the angel on the outside. So if I can't take flight, I need the will to fight. And with my demons I deny the angel on the outside. And when the sky turns black, there is no turning back alive. And with my demons I deny the angel on the outside.
Check. This isn't even fucking plugged into anything.
Not a bad way to spend the Sunday.
You're an inanimate fucking object!
You're listening to the CLE Show.
No, fuck off.
You can establish yourself as the kind of person who does get payback. Return an eye for an eye, return an eye for an eye, return an eye for an eye, for an eye, for an eye, for an eye, return an eye for an eye.
Sorry, you're too often. Sorry, you're too often.
I'll be just fine. Wait for something to explode and fly. Punch you in the fucking eye. Speak the truth, I'll tell the news. I'll stand behind you and use my boot. Snap, crack, bang, you're dead. Cut you off with the fucking
coming up in a little bit. I have Michael McFarland in the studio with me. In honor of Maddie Finn's success on American Idol so far this season, we're going to play some Whiskey Hollow right now. Here's Wristwatch Wishes. You're listening to the CLE Show.
Wristwatch wishing you well. Wristwatch wishing you well. Trying to give up his head, though you don't believe in it. Wristwatch wishing I felt better. your pretty smile's been here a while and I can't get enough. Whoa, dear, I need time to think. 'Cause this dizzy spell I'm under, well, it's not the drinks. Oh, oh, oh. Your jukebox soul's got me dancing right out of control. Your jukebox soul's got me dancing right out of control. Oh, 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 pretty please, stay next to me. I watch your body so damn close that we make peace.
I would like to introduce everyone to Michael McFarland, who is sitting here in the studio with me today. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, man. Great to be here.
I am happy to have you here. I've known Michael since I moved to Cleveland. He was the first artist I was playing shows with live up here.
Which I thoroughly enjoyed those shows, and you know, if you get back to playing out again, we need to make that happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had so much fun. Just like, it was acoustic shows all the time, and it was raw. It was raw music, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. So when that was around when I first moved to Cleveland, because I grew up in Kent, and I moved to North Carolina for a bit, and then decided Cleveland was sort of where I wanted to plant my flag. And one of the first things I started doing was trying to put together shows that were like a mix of solo artists and bands, like sort of alternating things back and forth.
Right.
And yeah, you were one of the guys that I was playing with all the time, and it was awesome.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you move to another city, Reverb Nation is the way to break out in that city.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I didn't know anybody here, and I was just like scrolling through Reverb Nation. I'm like, who are the top 5 alternative artists in Cleveland? And it was like you, Sean Benjamin, and a couple alternative bands. And I was like, all right, gave Michael McFarland a listen. I'm like, all right, I can jam with this.
Nice. That's actually when I go on tour, if I'm looking for local support on shows, that's exactly what I do as well.
Yeah.
Because the problem with like trying to find artists on Facebook or anywhere else is that you can't really search for artists by genre and city and all that on really any platform except Reverb Nation.
Right.
So
it gets so specific.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But you can go on Reverb Nation. You can browse, see who the top artists are. And usually, like, if I'm going on tour and I've got a date that I'm trying to fill in some locals, I'll like listen to the top 20 rock and alternative artists in that city on Reverb Nation. And the problem is you can't usually reach out to them directly, so you then have to go to their Facebook page,
right,
and like send them a message that way.
It becomes a total chore, but in the end, it's worth it.
I haven't found a better way to do it than that.
Right, I've made some pretty solid contacts.
Oh yeah,
that way,
absolutely.
You know, so you kind of branched out away from music a little bit in the last year or two.
Yeah, that was sort of by accident. So I've always kind of had my finger in a lot of different pies along the way. So, you know, I'm a freelance graphic designer. I've got the audio engineering thing that I do as well with a recording studio. You know, I do my own music and perform live. And a little over a year ago, I somehow ended up running a board game company.
Nice.
Which is Spontaneously Combustible Games. So we put out one game so far, and we've got our newest one, which is called Flippin' Fine's Diner, has a Kickstarter campaign going for it right now. So
Flippin' Fine's Diner.
yes, so it's kind of a twist on your classic like memory game, but instead of trying to like find two tiles that match in a grid, you're trying to find the right set of ingredients to complete orders that will then give you special abilities that you can use to do other stuff. And so everyone's competing to make the most money off of completing orders in this, like, greasy spoon diner.
That sounds awesome. That sounds like something like I want to sit down and play for hours.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a nice quick one. You can get through a game in about like 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how many players you got. And there's even a solo version of it that you can play, like, solitaire if you're
board
trying to kill a
game
little bit of time.
campaign.
Yep, exactly.
That's cool, man. How do you get into stuff like that? Like,
mostly by accident, apparently.
Obviously.
So the first game that we put out was called Pests, and the idea behind that game was that each player plays an exterminator that's trying to exterminate a specific type of pest in this big house, and whoever manages to get rid of their infestation first wins. There are these giant queen pests that are wandering around, dropping little baby pests all over the place, and it's almost like this cartoony type thing where you're trying to stop the other exterminators, like by busting their queens out of traps, by reopening the nest room where all these creatures are spawning. So you're running around this house and like causing mayhem while trying to exterminate these little creatures. So that came out of a unfortunate encounter I had with a colony of ants in my backyard. I was chopping up this old tree trunk, and the axe head sunk into... So I learned very recently that there are different terms. I had called ants a swarm. Apparently that's not proper unless they're flying ants. So you've got a colony of ants for if they're just kind of hanging out, or an army of ants, which is what they very quickly transformed into as they swarmed up the axe head, up the axe handle, up my arm, inside my work gloves, inside my sleeves. And literally nothing you can do except run around like in circles, like trying to beat them off of you. I'm sure that the people in the apartment building next door were looking down like, what is going on with that dude? So the following night, I had a nightmare beating back wave after wave of bugs inside my house, and woke up like, hey, that's a cool idea for a board game. So started messing around with some mechanics, got in touch with this dude, Todd Jacobison, that we'd been orbiting in like the same group of friends for the better part of a decade, but we'd never been super close. But I really liked his art style, and I was like, hey, you interested in working on a board game? And he was all about it, and within a month had finished almost all of the artwork for it. I was like, all right, well, I got to do something now.
Right.
I can't be the slacker in
like
this situation.
I gave him the idea.
Right.
Now I have to fulfill it.
Right, exactly. So it stopped being this like, oh yeah, it's this fun thing I'm working on. It's like, someone else has put a whole lot of work into this. I gotta step up and like actually do it. So started going to local gaming conventions, got hooked into the local game development playtesting scene, where I met a lot of awesome people, including Gerald King, who's the guy behind Flippin' Fine's Diner, the one I mentioned earlier. He runs this series of playtesting events each month all around Northeast Ohio. And started figuring things out, started promoting the game, building up the email list, and then last February we ran a Kickstarter campaign for that one. And so we successfully delivered that to all our backers in November. And, I learned all about international commerce and manufacturing and like all of that stuff that I had no intention of ever being part of. So has this
gone global then?
I mean, there are copies of Pests all over the world. They went everywhere from Australia to, we had a couple backers in Iceland. A whole bunch went to Canada. So yeah, that's fantastic. Absolutely global. It's bizarre.
All because you got attacked by an army of ants.
Exactly, army. That is the correct term.
So musically,
yes.
You're a pop alternative artist,
right? Yeah,
and the stuff that you put out all of it is super catchy. It stays in your head for weeks.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely,
that's my goal. That means I'm doing my job right.
Right. Right. As an artist, you want everybody thinking of you all the time.
Absolutely, and as a narcissist, I do as well.
Right. You got to have a little bit of narcissist inside of you to be a musician.
Exactly. To get up on stage and perform, there has to be at least a little bit of that in there.
Absolutely.
I try to keep it contained.
So the stuff that you're working on currently, I mean, it's like full band stuff. This is stuff that I hadn't previously heard from you.
Right. So this time around, so with every one of my records, I've had kind of a different approach to things. The core is always songwriting. I'm trying to write good songs again that are gonna get stuck in people's heads, but still be meaningful. Have something that that's going to connect with people on an emotional level and is going to stick with them and move them in one way or another. But I've always been sort of, trying out different styles as far as how to present those on each record. So the first one that I put out, I was kind of using the full band, like what Dashboard Confessional did when they switched over to being a full band from Chris Carrabba just doing his stuff with his acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
That was sort of the sound I was going for. So it was bass and drums and acoustic guitar in this kind of like little bit emo pop songwriting. Second record, I went with a little bit of full band with, I was listening to a lot of One Republic and the way they were doing production in there, so mixing in some synths and some like pop treatments to the songwriting. And then on the next two EPs, so between the second record and the two EPs I recorded right after that, I started doing a lot with a loop pedal. Like looping backbeats and things like that.
Which is awesome at his live shows.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. So yeah, I wanted to take what you saw at the live show and kind of translate that into a studio setting where, if you heard the record and then saw me live, there would be a direct connection between those. Like the rhythms would match up even if the exact sounds that were making up those rhythms weren't the same.
Right.
So in the studio, we used a lot of like found percussion, like the number of random things that I used to make snare drum sounds and kick drum sounds. Like I used the plate from a Sheetz, what was it, garlic fries. It comes on this little plastic tray. I held that right up to a microphone and just like flicked it with my finger, and we just cranked up the volume on that, and that was the snare sound on one of the songs. Another one, the bass drum, was me literally like slamming my fist into a drum throne that we mic'd up that just got this huge like kick drum sound.
That's awesome.
So another one was literally me jumping in the air, and we mic'd the floor as I landed wearing my motorcycle boots for the kick drum sound. So that was what we did with that one. With those two records, which I recorded both of them at the same time with a producer in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The record after that, We Are the Architects, I was going for almost exactly what you'd hear live, except for the process of building the loop. So it's all of the percussion that you hear on it is actually me beating on my guitar. It's only acoustic guitars. The only extra thing that you'll hear on the record that wasn't part of the live show was bass guitar, just because I wanted to fill out the low end a little bit. So on this record, I decided to take that same idea of, okay, so I want the rhythms to still match if you're hearing me live versus on the record, but I really wanted to go with a full band production. And I do have, I've got a band that plays with me, Michael McFarland and the Mess Makers, as a backing band from time to time. And so I was, planning out this record with the idea that I'd do more full band shows in addition to a lot of the solo gigs that I do by myself. And so I really wanted to get that big full band sound to it.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the guy that did the mixing and mastering for We Are the Architects is also the drummer in the Mess Makers, and so he co-produced the record with me. He played drums on it, and he's the one that's doing the mixing and mastering on this one. So that's been a really cool experience because I sent him the songs basically the way I do them live, and he took those beats, which essentially it's one core rhythm for each song, and then elaborated on them. So if you listen, you'll notice the kick drum and snare drum pattern stays almost the same aside from fills throughout the songs, but he does a lot with dynamics and fills, and
so it almost like
it up.
Feels like it's telling one solid story.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that was kind of the idea with this, and cranking it up to be more of a full band vibe, but still very songwriting centered.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can feel all sides of it.
Yeah. So that's the goal with that. And the record's going to be called House of Ghosts. And I color code all my records. This is going to be the purple record.
The purple record.
Yep. Is
there any significance to that?
Let's see. Well, I started running out of colors. It's got a little bit of this kind of melancholy sunset vibe to it. I actually reference sunsets a couple times throughout the lyrics of there, and purple just felt like a very like end of the day color. And I've always tried to pick colors that sort of match the feel of the record. And this one, it's the core idea behind it, because I also try to group songs together that tell a story. When you listen to them all together, is I grew up in Northeast Ohio. I moved away to a different place, and I moved back, and all this. And it's called House of Ghosts mostly because no matter what you're trying to leave behind, it's all inside of you, and so wherever you're going, those ghosts are coming with you. So whatever house you're living in, it's still going to be haunted if you're haunted. And so purple also seemed like a little bit of a spooky color. It kind of has that vibe to it. So it's this little bit spooky sunset was why I went with purple on it.
I mean, that was far more in depth than I was expecting. And I appreciate the answer even more now. I overthink kind of everything in my life, so why wouldn't I overthink the color of my records? Well, would you like to play something off of House of Ghosts?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I gave you 3 tracks from it. We could do the title track.
House of Ghosts?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll do that.
Excellent.
Here's House of Ghosts by Michael McFarland. You're listening to the CLE Show. We'll be right back. Hang on.
Standing in the front yard of a house filled with ghosts, nothing inside. And the dense overgrowth is creeping towards the window pane at the bedroom where I lost my name. And that's where our story ends. Curl up in the front seat, riding shotgun beside what you receipt. This is no normal driving, his tail is tucked in nervously. He looks for comfort, looks to me, his master and his friend. You were running down this road, but there's still so far to go. So follow that line, even with no end in sight. Just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away. So take a new road, follow it home, rebel and ramble, right and wrong. And just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away. Sleeping in the back room, just a mat on the floor, 26 days till I stand at your door. Cause the road can take the strongest man and leave him low with empty hands. And tonight I can't pretend. So we're running down this road, but there's still so far to go. So follow that line, even with no end in sight. Just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away. So take a new road, follow it home, rebel and ramble, right and wrong. Just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away from everything you've known and where you've been. Away and into the unknown, start again. Away from all the shadows, chase the sun and shed your skin. And to know that at the end we're coming home. So running down this road, but there's still so far to go. But we know that at the end we're coming home. So follow that line, even with no end in sight. Just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away. So take a new road, follow it
am back here with Michael McFarland.
Hey.
Sitting in the studio, the CLE Show.
Yes, indeed.
So, what was the inspiration behind the song we just heard?
It's kind of that song is very specifically about my moving away from Northeast Ohio to North Carolina, which that was about, I guess, 6 years ago now. The first verse is about driving away from my old house, which was in Stowe.
That's where I grew up.
I spent a lot of time hanging out there. I grew up in Kent, so we were just only about 7 miles away from each other.
Yep.
We went to the same Swensons.
Yes.
Which I hear they're finally going to be getting some of those more up here in Cleveland.
They're tearing down a little ma and pa place to put one up.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely happy about that news.
I'm not. I was all stoked for Swenson's for a while, and then I found that out.
Oh well.
Anyway.
I'm never in favor of. I mean, I love Swenson's, but I'm never in favor of tearing down like local businesses that have been around for a long time for more chain-y things, even if they're local chains.
Right.
But that's neither here or there. The first verse is about that departure. It's about my dog who was sitting in the front seat, and he could tell this was different than just a normal drive to the park or whatever.
Right.
Because he had only ever known that house. And everything.
Also, it's not a 2-minute drive; it's 16 hours.
Right, exactly. That was it was a bit of a haul to get there.
Right.
So yeah, I actually had my dog. His name's Steve. He's been on 2 of my album covers so far, and he's probably going to be on the House of Ghosts album cover as well.
Nice.
He's sort of my musical mascot. But yeah, I had Steve and I had 2 cats in cages in the car that I was driving. Because I moved there with my buddy Chris, and he had a cat. So I was in the animal car, and it was just this constant meowing from the back seat and whimpering from the passenger seat where Steve was hanging out. And I just turned up the music and I was like, all right, let's roll. Eventually, the cats either settled down or the music was loud enough to drown them out. But the whole idea behind the song is, so the lyric that's repeated a bunch of times is, just because you're running doesn't mean you're running away. And the idea of moving towards things, even if you're leaving something behind, always moving towards whatever's next. And sometimes that kind of brings you back to where you started. So I sort of came full circle of growing up in Kent, moving to North Carolina, and then moving to Cleveland. There's this kind of duality of meaning of the lyric. We know that at the end we're coming home, both being, sort of musing about life in general and a little bit of morbidity there, but also, at the end, wherever you end up settling and finding yourself, who you are, what you bring with you makes that your home. So yeah, that's kind of what the song's about.
It's very thoughtful writing. It is.
Again, I am nothing if not an overthinker.
Well, hey, the music has meaning.
I appreciate that, man.
And I mean, you can absolutely feel it, especially when you watch you live. I know you can't watch you live, but when I watch you live, and when other people watch you live, you put on this. I mean, it's such a soulful performance.
Thanks, man.
And it's you don't even realize it's just one dude standing on a stage because there's so much.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because very soon I kind of can watch me live, because what I'm going to be releasing before I put out the full length House of Ghosts, I'm calling it a multimedia EP called Almost Like Live. So it's recorded in the studio, but it is the exactly what I play when I perform live. So it's 4 of the songs that are going to be on House of Ghosts. So it'll be the sort of first introduction to these 4 songs, unless you've seen me live. But each song, there is a music video. I pulled all of the furniture out of the living room of my house, and we set up this multi-camera setup. And shot this pretty high quality production of me performing these 4 songs exactly like I do in a live setting, with the idea that whoever's watching these videos, it's like they are the audience. Like it's intended for whoever is watching right at that moment. So it's kind of been cool. Like, it's weird. It's sort of like the first time you hear your own voice recorded, like seeing that version of me and that performance. But I'm, in addition to being a little bit of a narcissist and an overthinker, I'm also really self-conscious about everything about me. So it's a little bit uncomfortable putting some of it out there, but I'm really excited about it. So
when is that due to come out?
I am aiming to start releasing. So I'm going to release the songs one by one. But my goal is to start putting those out in at the beginning of May, and then House of Ghosts, the full-length album. My plan is that it's going to be released around July. I don't have a release date yet, but sometime in the summer.
So we're getting some exclusive material here.
Oh yeah. That's officially that the song you heard just a few minutes ago will not be released until about 3-4 months from now. So.
All right. Well, you heard it here first on the CLE Show.
There you go.
Well, do you have another song that you would like us to hear?
Yeah. Absolutely. So the other two. The song "Skip." Is one that I'm quite fond of, and for all you music nerds out here, I like to give myself little songwriting challenges. Like I want to make sure that I don't stay static in the way that I'm writing, because it's really easy to sort of fall into the same patterns, and the same devices, and the same the ways that you put songs together. So I'll give myself little challenges. Like another one of the tracks that I did a preview release of from this record, which is called A Work in Progress. My goal with that one was to write a song that only had 2 chords in it and still make it musically compelling.
Well, we've been playing it for like a month and a half now, and
it's only got 2 chords in it.
Right. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, that one, that's going to be on House of Ghosts as well. This one, I wanted to write a song in 7/8 time that, unless someone pointed it out to you, you wouldn't notice that it was written in 7/8 time. So for non-music nerds, most songs you hear are going to be either in 4/4, which means there are 4 beats to the measure. Like, you always hear 1, 2, 3, 4 as the drummer counts something off. Or they're in 6, which is more of the like waltzy, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vibe to it. 7 adds an extra beat to the end of the measure, or you're dropping a beat from a set of 2 measures. So it's got this little bit off-kilter feel to it, and I really wanted to explore that and try to write a song that kind of cleverly referenced what I was doing musically, but also talked about some of the things that I was going through in my life. Over the past year, there's been a lot of changes. I got divorced, back on the market being single again, which is a really weird thing. And, trying to find happiness in myself, and also trying to, see what the world holds, as far as, being out there dating again. So that's kind of what this is about. And, trying to leave behind all the baggage that I've brought with me, again, with that whole idea of, the whatever house you're in, the ghosts are inside you and not the building. So yeah, that's what this one's about.
All right, well, here's Skip from Michael McFarland. You're listening to the CLE Show.
If you were a song, I'd press repeat, she said to me, and now you've got me wanting you so desperately. I lie awake, wishing you were next to me. Don't you know? Oh, my love is like a record, always skip to the same track. It never sounds quite the same on the playback. My one-track heart is hung in your haystack for your needle, so so can we skip right to the good parts? Looking for a new start. Just one beat but 2 hearts. Skipping oh. I know nothing here can keep us down. Synchronizing sacred sounds. Tables turn the record round. Skipping oh. everybody else's volume dropped and all the noise dissipating distant aftershocks. It's like a choice between a desert and a deluged aqueduct. Let it flow, oh, oh. So can we skip right to the good parts? Looking for a new start. Just one beat but two hearts. Skipping, oh, oh, oh. I know nothing here can keep us down. Synchronizing sacred sounds. Tables turn the record round. Skipping, oh, oh, oh. To the song you wanna hear again. Skip like a hot shot to laugh and then skip like a child through the air again. Like a lark, skipping so sweet. Hear me now. Skip to the song you wanna hear again. Skip like a hot shot to laugh and then skip like a child through the air again. Like a lark, skipping so sweet. Hear me now. Skip right to the good parts. Looking for a new start. Just one beat but two hearts. Skipping, oh, oh, oh. I know nothing here can keep us down. Synchronizing sacred sound. Tables turn the record round. Skipping, oh, oh, oh. Can we skip right to the good parts? Looking for a new start. Just one beat but two hearts. Skipping, oh, oh, oh. I know nothing here can keep us down. Synchronizing sacred sound. Tables turn the record round. Skipping, oh, oh, oh.
We are back with Michael McFarland. What's going on, dude?
Oh, just trying to figure out this thing we call life.
I know, and you are definitely living it to its fullest. You are in your, early 30s?
I mean, sure, we'll call it early.
Okay.
My birthday was 2 days ago, so I think I might have...
Yeah, that's right. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Happy belated birthday.
I may have advanced from early to now, like, mid-30s.
Hey, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I just entered the 30 club myself.
Oh, congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
Welcome.
I made it past the dumb kid 20s.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
phase.
Now it's okay for you to, stay in and watch Netflix and eat a whole thing of ice cream and complain about how everything hurts.
Yeah, and the crazy rap music these kids are listening to.
I was actually talking about this. So my friend Kevin Conaway, who's also a singer-songwriter, we went to every year. It's sort of a ritual for us. We go to this singer-songwriter conference in Cape May, New Jersey, and we were talking about music. And I was like, I knew there was going to be some point that all of a sudden, there was music that was coming out that I didn't get.
Yeah, and now is that time.
It's finally hit. It was like, because I'll go on Spotify and I'll put on, one of the playlists of the new stuff that's going on in hip hop. I'm like, okay, I've officially reached the point where kids are listening to music that I don't understand. And that's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that's happening because I had worried, there's this whole thing of people have talked about how the arts and culture are, sort of becoming samey. They'll talk about how, for example, fashion, if you look at today compared to 30 years ago, and then compared to 30 years previous,
the trends always come back around.
Right, but even with that, what we're wearing now is so much more similar to what people were wearing 30 years ago than what people 30 years ago were wearing compared to 30 years before that. And so, there was a part of me that was like, have we sort of hit this stagnation point in the forms of pop music that, that it's just going to kind of keep doing the same thing? What's going to be weird and revolutionary, and I'm not going to understand it? And I don't know if it's revolutionary, but yeah, there's music out now that I listen to and is like, that's weird and I don't understand it. And I'm happy about that. Like, yeah, it means I'm getting old, but it means that there's still changes that are happening in arts and culture. And I think it's good that, us guys in our 30s don't necessarily get what those darn kids are listening to.
I guess it's just some of the stuff that they talk about, though. It's just maybe it's just me starting to get into that, I don't want to talk about drugs all the time in music phase.
That's fair.
But I don't know. I'm the old man that's 30 years old and just I don't understand it, you kids.
Right. And to be fair, like, if you go back 15 years ago, what people were talking about.
Right, they were saying the same stuff.
Right. Even in alternative music, like if you listen to the lyrics of Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind, that's a song about doing crystal meth and having sex. Like that is 100% what that song is about, and I ate that up when I was a kid, and like sometimes when like I still play that song live from time to time, and I get a little bit embarrassed. Like, ooh, some of these lyrics. I've got nieces and nephews. Like, can I be singing this stuff? So yeah, it's it was one of those things that in a lot of ways just kind of like flew over my head, or just like not over my head, but I just didn't think too much about it, and now it's like, huh.
Yeah, because at that point you're just like, well, it's just music.
Yeah, exactly. And probably the 15-year-olds right now are looking for stuff that they think sounds cool and will piss off their parents. So
Slipknot did the job for me real well.
Yeah, exactly.
Slipknot and Eminem.
Yep. And I mean, what was Eminem writing about? Drugs and murder.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
I digress.
Yeah, eventually we all got to get to the point where we're telling kids to get off our lawns. So I guess that's where we're headed.
Well, getting back to your traveling to the music conference.
Yeah.
You travel all over the place.
Yeah, I've not been doing as much touring really recently, in part because I've been working on this new record, and the last several that I'd done had been EPs, and it's a lot easier to like knock out 5 or 6 songs as opposed to like a cohesive full length thing, especially doing the full band approach to it, where I'm working with other musicians and putting together this whole production and the almost like live multimedia EP. So I've been reining back the touring a little bit, but
well, I mean, you have tons of shit going on, dude.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a chill dude. I hang out.
I didn't think anybody could be busier than me. And damn,
I spend all my time watching Netflix, getting high. The usual. Yeah, I've had just a little bit going on in my life, but plan is along with the release of House of Ghosts in the summer, I'm going to be putting together a set of tours, hopefully hitting the West Coast again, probably flying out there, and then borrowing a car. Or I've got family that lives out there that they've got more cars than they need, so
there you
I'll
go.
borrow one of those for the tour.
Just make sure it's like the Alfa Romeo.
I'm not sure. I mean, my siblings they make good money, but I'm not sure it's Alfa Romeo money quite yet. Because the thing is, they make good money, but it's also on the West Coast, so like
it's like
Portland
regular money here
and Silicon Valley. So like, if I were making the kind of money that they do and living in Cleveland, oh yeah, I'd be like in a LeBron mansion or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I might settle for one of the. Because 2 of my brothers actually have full-on electric vehicles, and those are just stupid cheap to drive because you can just do the charge-ups if you got the time. So as far as saving costs on tour, like one of the biggest costs is gas getting from point A to point B. So I might see if I can manage to borrow one of those. We'll see how it goes.
Are they driving Teslas?
No, they're Nissan Leaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tesla would be awesome. Any kind of Tesla would be awesome to borrow. But yeah, so aiming to do a West Coast run because it's been about 4 years since I've done one of those. And then I want to do a loop down to Florida. I want to do one that's kind of heading west, like over towards the Mississippi and up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and sort of following the Great Lakes back to here. And then I want to do one that sort of heads up to the Northeast. And those last 2, I'm probably going to try to do on the motorcycle. We'll see how it goes.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that a couple years ago you were doing that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
You know, it's not much more rough than just a normal motorcycle trip, which aside from, you know, being on a like tighter schedule of like you got to get to this place and you got to play a show and you got to do that the next day. So, you know, if the weather is unpleasant, you still kind of got to saddle up and ride. But you know, I play a 3/4 scale guitar and everything's just straps on the back of the bike, so it's not that much different than a you know, a long distance motorcycle trip, except that I'm playing shows along the way. So,
well, that sounds like fun though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't been adhering to this as much lately, just because there's been so much going on in my life and like obligations and things like that I've been sorting through. But I came across this idea probably about 7 years ago that I've tried to stick with, and I'm trying to get more into the swing of doing so. And it's called the law of anecdotal value. And my formulation of it goes: given any choice in life, assuming no harm to others, always choose the path that's going to get you the best stories. Because as a songwriter, like, stories are kind of, that's my currency. Like that's the stuff that I build what I create out of. And so I figured, if you're not getting good stories traveling around on a motorcycle with a guitar on the back of it, then you're doing something wrong. So,
well, what's your favorite tour story?
Favorite tour story? Let's see. Probably it was the time that I pulled up at a gas station and I was just, you know, filling up the motorcycle with gas. Guy pulls up, sees that I've got, I've got a guitar on the back, strikes up a conversation, because, you know, anyone who sees that is like, all right, what's this guy doing? That's
oh, absolutely.
It's a good conversation starter,
especially on the back of a bike.
Right, exactly. And so we chat, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on tour. I'm going to this place to, you know, to play a show tonight. You know, got a couple more hours in. He's like, dude, that's awesome. Can I buy one of your records? He, like, never heard my music, just like the fact that I was trying for the troubadour lifestyle. Bought one of my records, and like he was about to drive off, and then he jumped out and he's like, hey, dude, you want some beers for the road? So he like pulls out a 6-pack and gives it to me. I toss in the tail bag of my bike and ride off. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Just those random kind of encounters that happen along the way. And just in general, the generosity of people that I've met along the way. Because as much as possible, I try not to pay for hotels when I'm on tour, because it just cuts into...
Oh, it drains you.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the biggest drain. Mm-hmm. If you're hotel hopping,
right?
I mean, you're going to make no money on the road.
Exactly. So when I'm on the motorcycle, I've always got a tent on the back of it just in case. And I have never had to use it. Like every town that I've ever been in, somebody offered me a place to stay, to the point that, like, after 3 tours on the motorcycle, I was like, you know what? I'm taking 2 days off and I'm going to go camping, because I've been carrying this tent on the back of this bike for like 8,000 miles on tour and I haven't gotten to use it yet. So yeah, I camped out at the Indiana Dunes and state park.
Cool.
There. Yeah, it was great. So yeah, that's kind of been the coolest thing, is just the overwhelming generosity. But coolest story, there are 2 of them that really like hit the top. One of them was I think it was in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was playing a show there, and I'd gotten into town, and you know, I knew the general direction, so I hadn't had, like, I use GPS on my phone that I have in a tank bag in front of me a lot of times. But I hadn't gotten directions to the actual venue. I knew, like, all right, I'll go this far into town, I'll pull over, and then I'll get the directions. So I didn't drain my phone battery, and I wasn't always just looking down at my phone and be like, okay, take this exit, take that exit. So park my guitar, and I needed to do something on my laptop for some reason, which I had in my guitar bag. So open up the guitar bag. I'm sitting on a curb in an Aldi grocery store parking lot next to a motorcycle, guitar case open, laptop, and this woman comes out of the grocery store, and she's loading her groceries in, gets into her car and is about to drive off. And again, it's one of those, like, you know, she starts the car and then she gets back out and she comes back over to me. He's like, what size boots do you wear? Like, I'm about a size 10. He's like, that's a weird question to ask. she said, "Hold on a second." She goes back to the car, opens up the back door, pulls out this plastic grocery bag that has a pair of motorcycle boots in it and brings it over. She's like, "Try these on." Like,
what?
Okay. And they fit perfectly. And she said, "These are my father's. He was an avid motorcyclist. And he passed away a few months ago. I've had these in my car. I'm not sure what to do with them. You look like you're on an adventure, and I think he'd like you to have them."
Whoa.
So yeah, she gave those to me.
Dude, that's heavy.
Yeah. So that's kind of right up there as far as stories go.
Yeah, for sure.
The other one was on a tour where my bike actually broke down. And this was, I was coming out of, let's see, it was somewhere coastal South Carolina, Charleston, maybe? Is that on the coast?
Honestly, I've never been south of North Carolina.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, it was coastal South Carolina, whatever the major, I lose track of things. But yeah, I was heading south out of there, heading down towards Florida. And my bike started like overheating, and I pulled off to the side of the road at a gas station. Was trying to figure out what to do with it. Was like trying troubleshooting things, and figured out that it probably was some issue with oil pressure or something like that. It wasn't that I was actually like losing oil, but I wasn't getting the power that I needed out of the motorcycle, and so I couldn't get above 40 miles per hour, and it was overheating and bad things. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I talked to someone at the gas station, and they say, "Hey, right over there's a tire shop, and the lady who runs that place. She's like super awesome. I'm sure she'd let you hang out there for the day as you figure it out." And so I walk my bike. I go talk to her first. Walk my bike over there, and she like in that like 8 hours I was there, she basically adopted me. She was feeding me all of this stuff. She said that like if you need to leave your motorcycle in the shed out back, like you're more than welcome to. And I ended up my buddy Chris. He made the trip with a trailer to pick that up, and I finished that tour in a car just because it turned out that repairs were going to take like longer than I could afford on the road. I would have had to cancel 3 or 4 dates. I was like, all right, motorcycle thing's awesome, but I gotta stick to the schedule.
Right.
I've got these shows set up. So 3 years later, this was about a year and a half ago, I was on tour again, going through that area. Again on different motorcycle this time. And I made a point in my mind, like I'm going to find that lady and say thank you. So I figure out where that tire shop was on the map. Like I follow the path that I took out of town, find the gas station, go to where the tire shop was, and it's no longer a tire shop. It's like a birdhouse store that's closed for the day. And I try knocking on the door. I go to the house behind it where she'd lived, try knocking on the door. Nobody answers. And so, I'm kind of bummed out. It's like, all right, it would have been awesome to run across her again, but I guess it's not going to happen. And I see this produce vendor, who's across the street over by the gas station. She's got a little stand set up. And I walk over and I ask her, like, hey, do you know the woman that used to run the tire shop there? Do you know what happened to her? She's like, oh yeah. She lives about a mile down that road now. Little house on the left. Like, gave me a description of the house. But if she's not there, she's working at a restaurant that's just down the road, so you might be able to find her. So I find the house. The way I could identify it was like there was a Volkswagen Beetle parked out front. Knock on the door, no answer. All right, I'll try the restaurant. And so I ride the bike to the restaurant, pull up, walk in, ask the manager, and he's like, oh yeah, she works here. And so she comes out from the back and she remembered me, like, you know, she like, we were both in tears remembering that day. I got a picture with her again, and it was just one of these, it felt like something out of a movie where like there's this just like huge letdown, and then you go on this like quest to find the person, and they're actually there.
Yeah.
And you know, it wasn't all just a dream, and you know, coming full circle. And the you know, the manager of the restaurant heard the story and was like, well, you have to play some music for us. So I ended up doing a lunchtime concert in a restaurant.
Nice.
And so yeah, those are probably the coolest stories that I've gotten out of doing the motorcycle tour thing.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's all been just the overwhelming kindness of strangers. Like, I can tend to be pretty cynical about things, and traveling and meeting people and just how generous and kind people have been along the way does a lot to like restore a little bit of faith in mankind. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, I bet. So what's your favorite city in the U.S. to play?
Ooh, I love playing Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah?
Like I mean, to be perfectly honest, Cleveland. I moved here on purpose. Like, I had gone on tour, I'd played pretty much every market in the U.S. and was like, as far as the music scene goes, like, I absolutely, you know, I fell in love with what Cleveland had to offer. Because growing up down in Kent, Cleveland was always where I went to go do something cool, like to go to a concert, to go to a, you know, a baseball game or a museum or something like that. But actually, like, coming here and playing shows in Cleveland when I was on tour, it was a completely different experience than just the, like, I'm going to go up there, go to the one thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to get back on the highway and go back to where I live.
That was the one bad part about not living in Cleveland, was leaving Cleveland.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I absolutely love the music scene here. There are so many talented people that are making music in this town, and I'm honored to be part of that music scene. But apart from Cleveland, I love Louisville, Kentucky. The Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete area of Florida, super cool. New Orleans is amazing. I had a great time in Memphis. I had a awesome time in Birmingham. I played at a cool, dingy rock club called the Nick. That was awesome. Eugene, Oregon was great. Fresno, California was badass too. Like, I met some really great bands there that I got a chance to play with. So kind of all over the place. Like,
you're just a lover of the world right now.
You know, I've played at a lot of great places, a lot of great people. I feel like I've been super fortunate to see the best side of a lot of the country. So it's really hard to pick. And there, you know, if I kept going, I could name probably 15 more cities that I
well,
had
it seems like
time.
Every situation that you get yourself into, whether it be bad or good, you obviously make the best of it.
You know, worst case scenario, I can write a song about it later.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to listen to one more of your songs, but before we do, I want to see if you have any shows coming up.
So I don't actually have that many on the calendar right now, but you can always go to michaelmcfarlandmusic.com to see when my upcoming tour dates are going to be. I've got one that's in northwest Pennsylvania, I think it is, in a couple weeks. And then I'm going to be playing a few around the area, and you can catch me just for funsies at a lot of like open mics and things like that around northeast Ohio area. So if you want to see the like official shows that I have scheduled, you can go to michaelmcfarlandmusic.com, or you can follow me on Facebook, and if I'm going to be playing somewhere, I almost always post about it ahead of time. So all those little like pop-up shows that I do here and there, you can catch those.
And the games, where can you find those?
So you can go to games.spontaneouslycombustible.com, and you can order pests from there, or you can find the Kickstarter for Flippin' Fine's Diner. You can get a link right to that Kickstarter, which has another 10 days that it's running.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael, for joining me today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Would you like to introduce your last song?
Yeah, so this one, it's, of course, there's a story behind it.
Oh, good.
This is called.
No, if there wasn't, there's a problem.
Exactly. So this one's called "Fresh Out of Love Songs," and I was so I write a lot of songs about love relationships, but a lot of times it's in the wake of things not going right,
right,
or sort of like the hopeful or the sad side of things, like rebuilding afterwards, or like looking for that fresh start. So I don't have many songs that you just straight up say like, this is a love song. Like, this is a unambiguous love song. And I was playing a show in Marshall, North Carolina, and there was a couple there that was on their honeymoon, and they're like, "Hey, could you play like do you have any love songs?" I was like, "Huh, yeah, not really." So I wrote
none that you want to hear this evening.
Exactly. Like, I think all the ones that wouldn't depress you at least a little bit I've already played. So I went home, and that night I wrote a song called "Fresh Out of Love Songs," and it's sort of about how so in a movie, like in love stories, you always get to a point where things are good, and then credits roll, and the story's over, and that's not really how life works.
Right.
And so,
unless you're a Marvel movie,
which I aspire to be, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. Still hoping to be bitten by some kind. The ants that I talked about earlier, none of them apparently were radioactive,
I
so
guess
I do not
so
have any special powers.
It's still a work in progress.
Exactly. My superhero-dom is still a work in progress. But yeah, so this song is kind of about how it's the question of, could you write me a love song, with my response being no, but I'll tell you how I'll treat you, and I'll tell you what life with me will be like, and that I'm going to to work to make this the best that it can possibly be. So while it might not be a love song, it's definitely a song about relationships, and how there isn't necessarily that moment where the credits roll and it's over and it's all good, but there's always an ongoing story that happens, even when relationships don't work out, the story's not quite over. So yeah.
Awesome. Michael McFarland, thank you so much for coming on to the CLE Show.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You are always welcome to come back and maybe sit in as a guest host.
I would be happy to do that. It sounds like a blast.
Drill some other bands for some answers.
Like, all right, what's your song about? Wrong.
Wrong. No, this is my take on it, and that's what it is. All right, here is Fresh Out of Love Songs from Michael McFarland. You are listening to the CLE Show. We're going to take a quick break. After the song, we'll be right back.
She said, hey boy, could you write me a love song? 'Cause I'm tired and the world has got me down. Something sweet with a happy ending. 'Cause I'm sinking in the river, I need a rope so I won't drown. I'd rather jump in with you and let my body lift you. I don't deal in happy endings. I won't swear that you will never have to fall asleep to sirens, and you won't close your eyes and cry behind your eyelids. But I promise I meant all those words whispered in your ear. I never run out of love, but I'm fresh out of love songs, dear. Oh, 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 oh. Well, happy endings are just in stories, 'cause real life doesn't work that way. Where you kiss and it fades to credits, but I will work for it every day. like I do. There's no ending to this story. I won't swear that you will ever have to fall asleep to sirens. You won't close your eyes and cry behind your eyelids. But I promise I meant all those words I whispered in your ear. I never run out of love, but I'm fresh out of love songs. Dear, oh me, oh my. Another chorus passed me by. The sounds of light and lullabies for you and me. 'Cause you and I will never have to fall asleep to sirens. And you won't close your eyes and cry behind your eyelids. But I promise I meant all those words whispered in your ear. I'll never run out of love, but I won't swear that you will never have to fall asleep to sirens. And you won't close your eyes and cry behind your eyelids. But I promise I meant all those words whispered in your ear. I'll never run out of love, but I'm fresh out of love songs, dear. Oh, 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 oh. I'm fresh out of love songs, dear. Oh, 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 oh. I'm fresh out of love songs, dear.
Attention book lovers! Are you tired of shopping the big box stores? I sure am. I hate those places. Do you long for the cozy feel of a local bookshop? Especially if it's Lakewood? Yeah, definitely. The bookshop in Lakewood is for you! It's definitely for me. They've just moved to offer a more community-friendly shopping experience. It's a family business. They will be having a grand reopening in April. Follow them on Facebook for updates and events and the grand reopening celebration. Look them up on Facebook at The Bookshop in Lakewood. They do have a cat. His name is Hobbs. A familiar name from my childhood. I might just change my name to Calvin and start living there. Come to The Bookshop in Lakewood. It's the only place you really need to go for books. Go for the books, stay for the cat, leave with a mutual respect for each other. Check, check, check. This isn't even fucking plugged into anything.
Not a bad way to spend the Sunday.
You're an inanimate fucking object!
You're listening to the CLE Show.
No, fuck off.
Left out in the rain, just a heart with no brain, in a shell made of skin and bones, like a robot programmed to make mistakes, washed out by sound waves. I'm drowning and it's okay, reciting my own verses. I relearn my own name and I'm right where I started. We're all broken hearted. Take you as far as I can. When the sky meets the ocean, I lost sense of direction. I lost sense of direction. So sick, out of luck, always right here, stuck in the mud, out of breath, out of touch, out of strength, out of love, out of blood. And I've had enough of this endless quest for truth, wasted youth. The voyages have wasted you. Can you tell? Your skin and bones. I lost sense of direction. I lost sense of direction. Are you up?
don't wanna change you. But I don't wanna change you. But I don't wanna change you. But I don't wanna change you. Just do what you do. Just do what you do. Cause you find the way you are. 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 You ain't gotta talk like this. You ain't gotta dress like this. You ain't gotta fuck like this. I ain't tryna bring it to the past, but you know I got that ass on lock. I ain't going nowhere, you know I'm in check. The way these dudes looking at your girl, I ain't stressed. Still crack jokes on the way that I dress. Every time you smile, girl, my soul feel blessed. Fuck boys never really talk about it. I know I'm sensitive, but don't talk about it. I sit back and promise you things. You just want me to answer when it rains. As a man, I just wanna make you feel safe. As a man, I've been trying to find my own place. Cause I'm human, things keep getting in the way. But there ain't no excuse the way I've been. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. But I don't wanna change you. 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 Just do what you do. Feelings now change on a day-to-day. Insecurities talk on a day-to-day. Where you been, who you with, you ain't say shit. When she thought this, you ain't never hiked this. She getting jealous and you know you really like this. She met a friend and she claimed as a friend, but you see him getting closer. She say she don't know, but she buying new clothes and you never did though. Gone. I ain't got time to be lied on, spied on. Your whole vibe wrong. I heard the girl that you danced on was an asshole. You asked what I'm mad for, what you laugh for. Now we fucking in the bathrobes. Now I'm mental, start thinking about the negative level, but I hate to tell me what it is. If she left me, I wouldn't know how to live. I guess I'll settle the way it is. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. But I don't wanna change you. 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 Just do what you do. Your bullshit turning my bullshit. I don't love you, but I kinda like you. Sex kinda good, so I wifed you. Regrets when you're looking at my face. Got kids, so I never ran away. New taste, so I got my own place on a dating scene again. Bagging dimes again, lost my common sense. And you moved on up like it's good times, but we still call each other like it's old times. I can't place my finger where we went wrong, but when we see each other, it's the same song. Where you been, who you with, you ain't say shit. Then I see a crooked smile break upon your lips. Then I kiss your hand, and I grab your hips. There's no excuse the way I've been. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. But I don't wanna change you. 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 Just do what you do.
First day out west, I was homesick. Less lost, but never found myself too close to the moment. Hoping to open, slow into glowing. Dark places where we don't know what's below end. I was never meant for earth. The truth hurts when you work just to quench your thirst. And I've learned through burns and made wrong turns down roads so cold, thought it never get worse. Maybe we're smaller than we realize. Maybe just a pupil in a giant's eye. Would you be surprised if you lived your life bowed down, busy praying up to satellites? Medicate till you drift away from the pain that you feel as you lie awake in this bed where your head tries to recreate the meaningful love and the reasons for hate. If you think there's something out there, sorry, I believe in you. Oh, I believe in you. Last time I checked, I was human. Cause it's been a few weeks since I blacked out staring at the moon and woke up lost in the woods in the nude, surrounded by bodies that feed into. Do you ever get the feeling that you've never been alone? That your life is just a live recording like a Truman Show, where the time moves slow when you watch something grow, but it's really moving faster than you ever gonna know. Skin wrapped skeletons, here for the hell of it, packing up the planet in a box trying to sell it quick. Heaven is irrelevant from a most to try to get happy, just basking in the self-proclaimed intelligence. I point my eyes to the sky, days dripping wet from the light. Time's never been on my side. Throw your hands in the night, wait to be identified. I got a I believe in you. F-O. I believe in you. F-O.
think of you. Such a little dandelion, sweeter than the fruit of the vine. Oh my God, oh good God, I'm waiting for my love in a range of neon light. You're an angel by my side. I'm amazed with what you do. Best believe I got you. I got you. Like a feather in the breeze, you're so happy naturally. Never big and picking sides, willy-nilly all the time. Oh my God, oh good God, I'm ready for my love in a range of neon light. You're an angel by my side. I'm amazed with what you do.
This track geeks me out. I love it. It's Nostalgia Day. Had some Zelda music with Michael McFarland. Got some Pokemon. Hey, K-Fit just released an album. They had a huge album release party out at Music Links in Mentor on the Lake on Saturday. There's tons of pictures all over their Facebook. Check it out. Here's Conniption Fit right now with Blame Season. You're listening to the CLE Show.
If I could bring my soul into one breath, like a bullet I put it in your chest, so you could feel what it feels like to feel nothing all of the time. Fictitious characters planting the seeds of self-deceit in the sands of time, and I provide the ground to grow and the sheets to blind your eyes.
Dreams won't stop shaking, my head keeps erasing the memories I'm making. This time I'll find it in myself to reach out and rough it out. When I had no one else to run to, you cared for me and I never got to thank you. Then I found someone to turn to, but speak like you said meant nothing, but you cheated me and our family. Now the price to pay is yours and I am guilt-free. Never give in to you again. This is the life I'm meant to live. I was too blind to see. You should have been nothing. Now I'm following into your sin. I drove through hell while I was burning alive. I closed my wings that kept you by my side. Whoa, whoa, controlled by the fire. Whoa, whoa, controlled by the fire. Controlled by